This question comes from Adam Makes Beer on YouTube. Let's discuss the current state of working in small breweries. I hear a lot about people unhappy with their job as a brewer, whether that be from Reddit, the brewery, please run my entire brewery for minimum wage on Facebook, and sometimes milk the forklift on Facebook. People are concerned about wages, working conditions, and the health of working in this industry. On the side of brewery ownership, I have seen help wanted ads where the brewery includes, quote, free beer in the break room, and people will think you are awesome because you are a brewer. What is your take on that? This is my take on that, man. This is kind of what my thoughts are on the state of the industry, and seeing how brewers are talking about it and how ownership is talking about it, and some of the things that are concerning to me about it. First of all, we do hard work, and I think that there are plenty of situations, and this isn't the only industry. I think there are plenty of situations where it's possible for the person in the brewer's shoes to allow themselves to be taken advantage of because their job is a passion project. And notice, I didn't put that on ownership. I put that on the brewer, because it is the brewer's responsibility to not go overboard with things, okay? Because it is just your job, and you can be passionate about it, but it is just your job, all right? I do think that brewery owners can try to play on that as well. I think that there can be fault on both sides. Sometimes I get a little disheartened when I see the volume of negativity surrounding certain things in the industry. And it's not because I'm, like the super champion for craft beer or anything like that. On a human level, these people need to stop doing what they're doing. If you're that unhappy that you're starting whole Facebook groups and like going on these rants in public under your real name in some cases, you need to just stop doing that and do something else, whether it's another brewery or whether you're outside of the field. Your passion for what is going on is not as valuable as your happiness. But let's jump back into some of the responsibility that goes to the brewers. I don't know. I mean, when you want to talk about brewer pay and brewer compensation, it's a choice. You choose to work in a brewery. If you're making X amount of money and you don't like it, quit working there. That's it. Unless you have a plan that this place is a stepping stone for you to be going somewhere else and it's a resume builder, then that's fine. If you're not learning, you're not growing, and it's not paying your bills, what are you doing? You need to stop doing it. Don't just go online and complain about it. Stop doing it. Because the reality is, and how things work, is there's too many people willing to work for that wage. I don't think we have a shortage. I don't think we have too many breweries. I think we have too many people willing to be brewers. I think that would solve the brewer pay issue if we had less people willing to brew beer. Anyways, but I mean, that's just basic economics. Also spitting off this, and I want to talk about this. I mean, would you ever imagine hearing and I'm sorry, I'm being a little ranty, but would you ever imagine another profession putting in the description of the job, or as one of the benefits, the fact that people are going to think it's awesome that you're a lawyer? Come work at Thompson and Thompson Law Firm. People are going to think it's rad. I think that's weird. I think that's a dumb thing to be putting in your listing, in your classified listing. It literally said it, and don't tell me it's not. Don't tell me it's a joke. It's not a joke. And there is something to, if I was somebody that went out and had pints after work, the people that came in there would like that. They like having some drinks with the brewers, and that's fine. That's fine. But like, you list it as a perk. I mean, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here with that. And free beer in the break room, dude. And you're putting this publicly. What does that mean? You have free beer for during the day, for during shift, because they had a separate part where they said that there are shift beers and price off beers. So what's the beer in the break room for? What's the beer in the break room for when people are climbing ladders, picking up big bags, walking around with hoses all over wet floors? I think we got to, I don't know. That stuff frustrates me, man. I'm not crazy about it. I don't like it. I think it's one of the weirder things that's going on in the industry right now. You see the thing popping off with Creature Comforts. I think they're in Georgia, where they're trying to unionize and stuff like that. And I'm not starting a union debate here. I'm not at all starting a union debate, but I know that they're unionizing and accusing Creature Comforts of all sorts of union busting things. It's going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. And again, I am not starting a political conversation. I'm talking about something that's going on. We're not going to have like a big conversation about the validity of unions or the validity of unions in this case or anything like that. But what I'm saying is I think our industry is at an interesting growing up point. And I think a lot of times we think that, the interesting thing is how many breweries can we sustain? How many breweries will people go into and buy beer from? I think we might have a more interesting thing we might have it might be a different question. The question really might be is, how many competent professionals can we find to work in our breweries at the rates at which most people are paying? I think that's probably the real conversation there. But listen, to all my people on these pages, just spitting that venom on Facebook and whatever, you might think it's cathartic, but it's probably not. Just cool it, man. Just don't get yourself all raged up. If the industry is not working for you, dude, bounce. We just had an article come out not that long ago by one of the larger publications that was talking about burnout and different things like that. I also think a big part of it is that by and large, and I'm going to talk about the community of brewers, by and large, we treat ourselves like trash. Right? We drink more than we should. I mean, that's it. Right? And I mean, maybe you don't. And and this is not me being high and mighty or anything like that. I've had more than I should drink on plenty of occasions. That's not me. I'm not high horsing it here. But what I am saying is that we need to also like take responsibility for our own misery sometimes, because I've also seen people like want to heap onto the industry the fact that they have a drinking problem. And that's not how that works, homie. Ultimately, that's up to you. Said with all compassion, and being somebody that has had more than their share of what can be difficult about alcohol abuse in their life. But that is my take on some of the stuff that's going on industry-wise as far as employment, what employers want to offer as compensation. And different things like that. Yeah, and I'm not trying to come off, and again, honestly, I'm not trying to come off as holier than thou. I'm sure there's somebody on the other end of this that will end up listening to it at some point and draw that conclusion. But quite honestly, I think that's a defensive response, because that's not where I'm coming from at all. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.